A garden space is beautiful on its own, but it is even more beautiful when you have something to enjoy by it. For me, that's this patio and pond, but there's a lot of different ways that you can approach it. I'm Kevin Espiritu, the founder of Epic Gardening, and over the last 5 years, I've transformed my space not only into a productive garden and homestead, but a place to actually sit and enjoy the fruits of my labor. So with the help of Home Depot, we sent our team out to Maine, where they've been working on an epic transformation of a beautiful homestead property out there. The team's got the garden in, they've got a greenhouse, pathways, some containers with beautiful plants. Now they just need to build a space where they can sit and really enjoy what they've built, and they're tackling that with a pergola design. This is From Scratch.
Today is a huge day because we're building out the garden pergola, which is really going to tie the space together. We're also working on the outdoor kitchen and planting border trees all around the garden. Guess who's back, Mark?
Hey guys, nice to see you again.
See you.
How you guys doing?
Miss us?
Absolutely. Looking forward to doing this project with you guys.
So today, all about pergola talk.
Pergola. So you guys looking to build your own custom pergola, or are you guys looking for the kits?
I know my way around the saw a little bit, but that's a lot of miters, a lot of dimensions I gotta get just right.
A lot of math.
You know, we're not contractors, so
Okay, all right.
what are our options here?
So I would say my best option for you guys is the pergola kits.
So as a kit, it's like pre-cut.
Pre-cut everything.
All of the instructions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's take a look at options here.
And we're thinking wood, right?
I think
Is that
so,
the
to match. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that looks like it's cedar, or is it wood?
It's all
Okay.
cedar wood. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
So cedar's very heavy, but it keeps the bugs away as well.
Yeah,
So,
no, we need that.
you know, especially if you're in a big open area like this, a lot of plants, it's a
Right.
good thing to have, obviously.
Actually, that's a good point. Well, I think that's gonna look great in the space, and I'm actually going to be putting it together with gray,
Okay.
and I think we're gonna have a good time. Awesome, thanks again, Mark.
Absolutely. My pleasure, guys.
Pleasure.
My pleasure.
Sure, we're gonna see you soon.
Absolutely.
Luckily for me, Gray is helping out on this project. In addition to being a master gardener, he's also an accomplished DIY woodworker who's taken on a ton of really creative projects at his property back in Texas. The pergola kit we went with is 100% natural cedar wood and comes with all the elements pre-cut and ready to be assembled. With all of these materials, it's super important to stay organized. So the first step is to unpack and group together any repeated pieces so that we can understand all of the materials and the steps that follow.
Whew, I'm gonna grab the sweater, and you guys start without me?
Yeah, you know, don't worry. There's more fun to be had.
That's true. So you got the post set up, and we're doing the bottom plates.
Yeah, we got these plates on, and then we're gonna start putting in our angle brackets on the outside.
So step one's down.
Yeah, step one.
Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, many more to go. These two corbels. Yeah.
Easy money.
And now it's time to start assembling the pergola components. We chose a 12 by 16 foot design with cedar rafters and purlins positioned to align with the kitchen pergola. This helps create a cohesive outdoor dining space that visually connects to both the garden arbor and the kitchen itself.
We're gonna be doing this.
So we're moving these posts up to a nice flat surface just to make sure we don't blow out these joints using a very uneven surface over there.
Yeah,
Where's
2x. So, okay, that's
Yeah.
why it says 16.
Gotcha.
Huh?
That makes sense. Yeah, because that's our 8
yeah.
and it's 16. Boom, shakalaka.
All right.
All right.
All right, should we put it right here? Looks pretty good.
It looks good here.
All right, so you go out, and I'll
Yep.
go back.
Yep.
Slippery with gloves on. It is. I need my calluses back.
While we're working on the pergola, Z is making some major progress in the outdoor kitchen. For the base of the tile itself, Z is using a fiber reinforced cement board that provides a durable, water-resistant base that will prevent warping and cracking, and all of the seams are then sealed with cold weather acrylic tape. And once the base was fully prepped, Z began cutting the porcelain tiles to size using their wet tile saw. Unlike a traditional saw, this tile saw uses water to cool the diamond blade, suppress dust, and prevent chips from forming on the tile during the cut. To adhere the tile to the cement board, Z is spreading Quikrete thin set mortar, designed specifically to handle the density of porcelain and the demands of the elements. This mortar creates a strong, lasting bond, giving the tile a solid foundation that could stand up to moisture and temperature changes. Since the kitchen is going to be exposed to the elements throughout the seasons, we're going with a heavy-duty porcelain tile for the countertop. After laying the tile in place, Z uses a rubber mallet to get the tiles perfectly lined up without damaging anything.
Yeah, okay. This goes on top. That stands up, goes on the inside, and then
Short boy,
Yeah.
middle.
long boy on the end.
16, 16.
All right. 1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
go. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So now what?
And now we go back down.
All right, let me move. You got that?
Yeah, I got
And
it.
then move this guy
Go
back.
for it.
And then, all right, you guys just stay there. So, we should have prepped that other, yeah. We need to hammer in some of these guys.
Thanks to Gray's help, this pergola is coming together so much easier than I would have imagined. And all of that careful prep work and measuring we did before when we placed the concrete footings is really paying off, because it looks like
Okay, now
this
the
pergola
front
is going to line up perfectly with the kitchen pergola.
Yes. I love it when a good plan comes together. We've got this thing standing. We just got to get the rest of the cross pieces on, and then it's gonna look real nice.
Yeah, I reckon you might be right, dude. Woo, look at that.
All right.
I'm better now. Here we go.
Come back on the leg a little bit on the bottom. Pull it in. Pull it towards you, yeah.
Hey, how's your end looking? Looking
My
good?
hand's looking pretty good.
All right.
And you look pretty good up there too.
Hey, likewise, brother.
We're closing out day one on the pergola with the base structure fully standing. Having all the pergola pieces pre-cut and ready to assemble made slotting the rafters onto the base really straightforward. You just line them up to the pre-drilled holes and use a screw to connect the rafters directly to the crossbeams.
Wow, this looks fantastic, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it really came together.
Yeah, we just have a little bit of finishing touches. We're definitely gonna dress it out, make it a little bit more cozy. But the major structure's up. It looks great. Put together pretty easily, I gotta say.
It wasn't bad at all.
All right, so should we just work on cleaning this up and getting it all dressed up?
Yep, let's do it.
Awesome.
All right, let's do it.
As for the exterior of the kitchen itself, we're using cedar trim to give the kitchen a finished look and to match the cedar of the garden pergola itself. The final step of the actual assembly of the structure is to add the pergola purlins to the top. These add structural support to hold everything together nice and rigid, and also add a little bit of shade protection underneath. And since this pergola came with purlins, we decided that we're also going to add them to the kitchen pergola as well.
And so yeah, I'm gonna grout.
Got you right on the trip. Perfect.
We want to keep this gravel from spilling into the rest of the garden and grassy area, so we're going to get these pressure-treated 4x4s, build a frame around the pergola. That's going to allow us to have a nice, thick gravel base that will also hide the concrete pillars.
I've used this method before back at the Epic Homestead, and it's held up beautifully.
This is going to be annoying no matter what, huh?
Yeah.
The only complication here is that we have a little bit of uneven ground, so we filled in those low spots before piling on all the gravel, and now we've created an intentional separate space that we could dress up to look extra nice. And if you're wondering, the pergola posts are anchored into the concrete footings using the included brackets and concrete anchor bolts, and now this thing isn't going anywhere. To cap off this beautiful pergola, we're adding Hampton Bay dining furniture to the center, planters around the corners, and string lights along alternating rafters. And just like that, we've got ourselves a brand new outdoor dining area.
We did say no more groundwork, but I need to break up this visual flatness here. So the tree's going in.
What tree are we putting in? Cherry tree?
It's gonna be a big old cherry. Wherever you buy a tree, they're most likely to be grafted, and you'll generally be able to tell by looking at the base of the tree. It's swollen, and where the main trunk comes up, that is the graft point, and we do not want to bury that. If we do that, we'll get roots from the wrong tree growing. That's basically all you need to know. So when you're looking at how to plant it, you want to come up right at the soil line, meeting the soil line that exists in the pot, and never bury this actual union here.
Jacques is watering the plant really well before transplant, as well as the hole, because it just ensures a smoother transition for the plant.
Whenever you plant a new tree or just a simple vegetable, you want to make sure you're not planting into dry soil.
You might have to stomp. Oh, there we go.
So once you've dug your hole, make sure you give it a good drink. That way your tree will have plenty of roots spread all throughout the area.
Let's get this guy in.
Yep.
Let's see if it's too low. Nope, perfect.
And you can actually do a scratch test. So this branch is a healthy branch, and if you use your fingernail and give it a little dig, you'll see green on the inside. And that shows that this branch is still alive and well. But this one right here, you can see on the branch, it's really dry. And if we do a scratch test, it's not green, it's brown. So that one we can actually safely also kind of trim that off. Here, I'll do the water.
Perfect.
So then teamwork here. I'll go in a slower setting.
Whenever I plant a tree, I like to put a little bit of fertility, something to help it get going. So this is a combination of manure and humus, which is basically like leaf litter. This should help kickstart that tree, give it a little bit of nutrition early on. All I'm going to do is cut this open, mound it right on top, and that should work its way down into the soil and feed that tree. All right.
We'll wash off the trunk here. We don't want the graft union buried.
I love that we have a cherry tree in here because in San Diego, I can't really pull off cherries in my climate. And with this nice tall tree here breaking that visual landscape, it looks absolutely epic. The final pergola build came out truly stunning. This thing was a dream to put together. Definitely happy we did not go from scratch and cut all this lumber, miter every edge, because I think I'd still be building it today. Now, a couple of the features that we finished out in here that I really want to point out is that A, on every single one of these posts, we do have a nice big container with beautiful ornamental plants that really makes it a much more inviting space. And when we installed these concrete footings, our contractor Z made sure that this pillar and that pillar would perfectly line up with the kitchen pergola, and we actually nailed it. And no pergola is complete without a nice sitting space. So we got the Hampton Bay table and these really cozy seats all around it. And I think I'm gonna be adding a pergola in my space as well.
Here are a few tips, tricks, and takeaways we picked up. If you're not a professional carpenter or somebody who wants to make thousands of cuts, definitely go with a pergola kit. It will save you so much time and headache. Pre-assemble it on the ground, build as much as you can on a flat surface before standing it up. Make sure your foundation is right. This will dictate whether everything lines up nicely, and also make sure that pergola is really solid and stays for a very long time. Check for square at every stage. Small adjustments early on can save you so many headaches later down the line. Today's tool of the day has to be the Ryobi tile saw. This saw has the perfect combination of power and portability. It's user-friendly, adjustable, and was able to deliver on clean and precise cuts for our porcelain countertop tiles. I am so happy with how this pergola came together. It ties the whole kitchen area into the garden. And now that we have tile and cedar trim around the outdoor kitchen, we are getting so close to finishing up this space. Next up, we've got a fire pit area going in, an herb garden, and all of the finishing touches that are going to bring the vision for this property to life. And don't forget to check out the description below for a full list of linked tools and materials we used for this project.